So now let's take a look. NightHawk. NightHawk sent some stuff in. Let's see here. So we've got ShrewNAS core running here. We're going to look through the pictures here just real quick. Let's make that full size. Let's look through the pictures real quick, and then we'll come back. He's been up for 47 days. That's pretty good. Hottest at 41.9, not bad. Pretty consistent there on temps. 32 threads. All right. Pi-hole primary and secondary. I've got the exact same thing, except I'm using AdGuard, not Pi-hole, but primary and secondary. True Command Plex, Home Assistant, Docker, Tactical, RMM. Some of these I am not familiar with. We were actually talking about Semaphore this morning in Discord. If you guys haven't joined Discord yet, you should. Yeah, I dig it. 24 cores, bunch of memory. Ooh, bunch of memory. Holy crap. All right, let's see. Let's keep coming through here. All right, okay, so this is in a basement. I think this is a great place for it. We've got a 42-port switch there with a couple of Keystone patch panels. We got a couple of 1U racks. Whew, yeah, we're definitely gonna come back. Man, you've got these really cool rack studs. I need to get some of those rack studs, but I'm cheap and I can't justify it yet. I love these rack studs. This is my point. What else we got? Oh, you know what? I actually had this up and running for a while. I should probably set up a monitor and 48 port switch. My bad. But yeah, I really should set this up somewhere, just as a little thing. But I love that this is there. Ooh, there we go. Here's the front. Wow. Oh yeah, that looks really good. And of course, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about this stuff here in a minute. Another shot of it. Wait, is this a different? Oh no, just different shot of the same thing. All right. Whew, that's pretty sexy. That is pretty sexy. Is this an audio interface down here in front of your vape? I'm curious. I'm actually using a very similar trackball. Of course, I've got my stupid hand in the front of it. But yeah, also using a trackball from Logitech. Love it. Absolutely love it. Same reaction. Oh, it's the speaker. Oh, okay. All right, I dig it. Figure out Nextcloud thanks to the guide. Using a trial of Unraid. Yeah, I gotta get in more Unraid stuff. We all love big racks, but sometimes a small rack is all you need. I couldn't agree more with that. Gotta have the vapes handy, absolutely. Sonoverse UBR, never heard of it, but I'm gonna look it up later because that sounds fun. All right, so let's do this. Let's come back over to here like this. Let's go ahead and oh geez, you know what? Let's refresh this page. Yeah, so let's archive this one, and then all right. So of course I've got those backwards. That's gonna drive me nuts. Come here, there you are. I'm gonna go over there. Okay, now we're back to the way it was. Okay, servers. I have two 1U SuperMicro servers and one SuperMicro board in a tower case. One Dell R720. Those are super popular, and one Lenovo M710q and a NUC 6i5. The network is one HP V1810-48G or 48G non-PoE managed switch, and two Engenius EWS385AP access points. pfSense Plus running on the first U under the switch. Which I'm gonna guess, is this one right here? pfSense. It says pfSense right there. Where did it go? The board is an X8 STI-F with dual Xeon X5675s for a total of 12 threads with 24 gigs of EEC DDR3 RAM, dual 100 gig Intel Enterprise SSDs in RAID 1 for storage, Intel Quad 1 gigabyte network card running, LAGG and LACP on all four ports to act as a so you've made all of that a 4 gig connection to the switch. That's cool. It's running 6 VLANs to keep the network split up and secure. Rules are in place on the base LAN to block access to any DHCP IP address. Huh. Interesting. Same for the... Oh, that's clever. So basically, all of your devices in the network have a static IP address. So then anybody, say that's like a guest, would get a DHCP address, and then they wouldn't be able to access the stuff on that VLAN. Am I understanding that correctly? Let me know. Same for the server and the VLAN, so all dedicated static reservation. Correct. Okay. The IP has to be added to an alias to... Okay, that's funny. I never read ahead on any of these. This is all... I copy and paste, but I don't ever read anything because I want to experience this with everybody. Okay, with VLAN 102, the server's IP has to be added to an alias to allow access to the LAN and the internet. Other VLANs include IoT. I've got one of those too. Yep. IoT VLAN runs through the Pi-hole. Yep, same. Basically, I've got a bunch of Chinese light bulbs in my house and stuff like that, just off-brand stuff I've never heard of, but I was cheap and needed something at the time. So all of that stuff gets thrown in an IoT VLAN, and it just works, and I don't care. Next server is a Proxmox, which is backup server here. 2 TrueNAS Core, 3 800 gig Intel Enterprise SSD and RAID 5, 1 Intel 480 gig dedicated to my Docker VM. List of VMs include Pi-hole by 2, we talked about that. Ant Media Server to work in conjunction with Owncast and OBS. Interesting. Owncast, Tautoli, Observium, SNMP, True Command, Plex, Home Assistant, Docker, and Portainer Business Edition, as you should. Tactical RMM. Still not sure what that is. I'm definitely curious about what that is. Remote monitoring management. Okay. Huh. Yeah, definitely going to have to take a look at that later. And then Semaphore and Ansible. Again, you guys were talking about this. Okay, that was... So there... Okay, so I was a bit confused there. Okay. Anyway, you guys were talking about Semaphore and Ansible this morning. And I really should look into it. But yeah, no, I dig it. Proxmox runs on an X8 DTU-F with 2 E5 645 6-core 12-thread Xeons for a total of 24 threads, 96 gigs of ECC DDR3, boots off of 220 gig Intel Enterprise SSDs in RAID 1. Storage for ISOs runs on TrueNAS via SMB. I dig that. I like having that separation. A lot of my stuff runs through NFS versus SMB, but I just like to have stuff separated out as much as possible. Networking is done with an add-on card and 2 internal cards for a total of 4 ports. On the other add-in cards include an NVIDIA P400 pass-through to Plex for occasional transcoding, and a 4-port USB 3 card pass-through to Home Assistant to allow for Z-Wave and Zigbee dongle connections in their own IOMMU group. TrueNAS runs on the Dell R720 dual Xeons, 8 cores, 16 threads for a total of 32 threads, 128 gigs of ECC DDR3 RAM. Storage is 4 18 terabyte RAID Z2 for ISOs, wink wink, and 4 3 terabyte SAS drives split into 2 mirrored sets for small storage to backup containers. TrueNAS boots off of a 300 gig internal enterprise SSD, and the config is backed up daily with True Command. Interesting. Never used True Command. I use Proxmox and Proxmox backup for all of that, so that's cool. Last server is my Proxmox backup server on an X8 STI-LN4 with a Xeon X3480 4-core 8-thread CPU, 24 gigs of ECC DDR3 RAM. PBS boots off of 220 gig Intel Enterprise SSDs in RAID 1. Storage is 4 by 480 gig in RAID 0 for just under 1 terabyte of storage. Nothing wrong with that. I have plans to upgrade my Proxmox server to 4 1.92 terabyte Intel SSDs and move the 3 800 gig SSD to PBS and add 1 more to increase storage in both servers at some point when I can afford it. I get that. Okay, True Command just grabs the config file. Cool. Mini stuff. Lenovo M710q Core i5 7500T with 16 gigs of RAM and a 500 gig SSD running Linux Mint. to run OBS to stream to Ant Media server that streams to Ohmcast 24/7 for music streaming that I can then add a second or more streams to split to YouTube and other public streaming services. Wow. So then do you create your own music? Is that, because like I can't imagine that you would just stream music that isn't your own. That's interesting. Do Intel NUC 6i5 with 16 gigs RAM and a 256 gig NVMe SSD. This runs Windows 10 to be my desktop to do photo editing over RDP. On another Lenovo 7 is my desktop. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, so just royalty-free stuff. Cool, I dig it. My Docker VM is running 62 containers with 8 cores and 16 gigs of RAM with 300 gigs of storage on a dedicated drive. I run 14 containers for Cloudflare tunnels because my ISP is CG NAT. Oh, I hate that. Luckily, Cloudflare tunnels is such a cool solution for that. The other containers are Graylog, Getty, File Browser, Glances, Godify, OpenSpeed Speed Test, Speed Tracker, Tube Archivist, Uptime Kuma, VS Code Server, and Weather Station app. I currently run 2 Uptime Kuma instances. One is for work and to track NUCs all over the USA for special services I set up for the company I work for. Cool. That's handy so that you don't have to like actively monitor things. You can just get notifications if something goes down. Well done. I dig that. I also have the full RStack to get all the ISOs, wink, wink. I also run a container called Poster, which we took a look at. Nope, not that one. That one is Poster. I really like that. Where did it go? There it goes. It provides movie and TV posters that connects to the Rs and Plex to display a 56 vertical plasma. Yep, that's what I would want to do. Absolutely. I also run a VML CSD container for all my non-Linux installs. Interesting. Observium probably helps with that too. SNMP traps and notifications. Huh. Say Plex feeds to multiple TVs in the house with Roku built-in or Roku sticks or Apple TVs. Everything streams locally over Wi-Fi or wired connections running original quality without any transcoding. That's basically how I have mine set up. Roku TVs in both bedrooms. I've got a Vizio TV that I really need to replace in the living room. Yeah, all Wi-Fi, all just streams across the network with no transcoding. Love it. Transcoding is only used for remotely for family members. Yeah, I actually mirrored my Plex setup and gave it to a friend of mine so he quit pinging off of my system and making it transcode. Internet is a 1 gig synchronous over fiber. I also have a 75 megabyte backup ISP. In the case the fiber has any issues, it automatically fails over within a second or so. That's impressive. I do have 3 1500 volt amp hour UPSs that give me 20 to 30 minutes to shut everything down gracefully in case of a power outage. It'll keep things running, yeah, over. Nothing I have is new. It's all used and reconditioned as I can get it. I think probably $3,000 to $4,000 in total. You know, that's not bad. Like that's for everything in this rack. Like, in fact, that's not even the right picture. That one. Let's say you got $4,000 there. That's still decent when you configure hardware and storage and the rack and the whole bit. Like $4,000 for that, not bad at all.